So we're back onto the start. We've got the start of the Ladies Challenge Cup comes into play. Big event. We have Frankfurter from Germany on the Berkshire station, and we have Newcastle University and Cambridge University on the Berkshire station.
Late on the start, official warning, please acknowledge.
Just crews are sitting there, that nervous energy is just sitting there, that anticipation.
God, it's tense, isn't it? They class as an intermediate event, but actually these 8s are always pretty damn hot.
The speed they go is mind-blowing, isn't it? This level of athlete. And that's kind of the in-between, isn't it? The university and the kind of the grand is this is the one.
It's a scary level, isn't it, of how good these crews are. This under-23 crew on the right-hand side.
So you see the Cox's hand is up at the moment. The composite crew from Newcastle and Cambridge. Hand down. German Cox has still got their hand up. And what you'll find is when the hands are up that long, it'll be a quick start.
Attention! Go!
The 8s, the noise.
God, there's so much noise, isn't there? You can barely hear yourself think.
So that's the last thing you want anybody looking at the boat in the first 100 metres. Head still, think about what you're doing, the process.
You've got to keep it locked in, haven't you? The instinct is to look at the other crew and see where you are after you've thumped in a couple of big strokes. But no, early on, definitely down the island, you want to keep heads in. Look at that lollipop down the far end off the back of the course and just go for it.
And just look at the boat catapult through there. The power that's been laid down by the combination, the composite of Newcastle and Cambridge.
Catapult, it very much is, isn't it? I like it when you look really closely at an oar. It does look like a giant pole vault, doesn't it? And they are catapulting themselves down the course.
And it's Frankfurt, as I said, we're in the 150th anniversary this year, so this is a big year for them as a club. They've come to Henley, and they're up against the GB under 23A, which is a combination of many clubs and universities.
Yeah, it's always quite a challenge, isn't it, for the GB under-23 team when they round up a loads of really talented athletes, as we can see here, and then try and sort of gel them together in quite a short amount of time. And I suspect Peter Shepherd and sort of Brian Cox are usually involved with these sort of development crews, bring them together.
Because it's really hard to try and coach people in that short period of time. Is it more just man managing, get the best out of what you have?
It's a bit like a sort of an England football side, isn't it? You're just trying to sort of...
No. Sorry. This is successful stuff.
Oh, yeah. Hey, come on, England football's seen a resurgence, you know. But
still semi-finalists, don't get me wrong.
Okay, all right, we'll park that for the time being. Here we have that Frankfurter crew looking quite swish with those blue anodised wing riggers.
It's very composed there.
It is quite composed, isn't it? Maybe too composed. How would you be feeling if you were?
Yeah, and that's the thing, is, and that's always difficult, isn't it? When you're behind, not getting too flustered by what's going on beside you, standing your rhythm, your thing. Because we've seen some races earlier in the week where crews have gone out early, quite late, and then people come back at them, and that kind of that sprint finish, the crew that's gone out too early doesn't have that. But I know we're looking at a different class or caliber of athlete in these particular two boats.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? It's we talk about composure to row the distance of the course, right, to 2,112 metres, right. It's sort of, we call it a drag race, but there's still like several minutes of race that can go either way. So, you know, maybe they're just being very economical here, and but I do suspect that the under-23 crew has got an extra gear in there and is just sort of striding it out there, and looking at them now, actually, that looks pretty relaxed.
It looks really relaxed now, yeah.
I'd like to row in there. That would be pretty good fun, wouldn't it?
You mean like them to pull you along? But they're really composed there. And they're all locked in now. Just focusing on their rhythm. Because obviously this is a stepping stone. This is really important to them, but obviously they've got the under-23s, which is why they've all been brought together from all these different clubs and universities, and that's a really dominant performance there.
That's a really strong lead, isn't it? I mean, that's a...
And And it's good for them to get some races under the belt before they go into the big races, which will come tomorrow, and obviously if they progress onto Sunday.
Yeah, it's interesting going for a race like this because you've obviously had that sort of that anticipation, that tension early on in the race of not knowing where you are, what the form of the other crew is, and then actually at this sort of stage as well, it's you're racing down the track. You are at Henley, which is an amazing place to be, but it's what happens now, like what's going on in there.
That's a really important thing because when you race multi-lane racing, you'll know going in by the kind of form guide, if you race an international club level, where this race is potentially going to go to. When you come to Henley and there's no form guide, in your preparation, you have to prepare to go the full track because you don't know the speed of the other boat they've come across from somewhere else. So that's always a really, difficult thing to manage, I think, because you just assume you're going to go from A to B as fast as you can.
Yeah, you just have to assume that the person you're up against is going to push you to the right to the line, and actually, as like you said with multi-lane as well, there's always going to be someone in the field that's going to give you a run.
There's a race within a race in multi-lane.
Yeah, that's it. There's always something going on. Whereas this, they've sort of tamed the tiger here, haven't they? They've tamed the German tiger, and they're just sort of motoring along there, and essentially now they're just getting in some good miles, aren't they? Getting some good rowing, good pressure on the boat.
And I know there's a lot of hope and promise with this particular combination going into the under-23, so to have some really tough racing would be really good for them, especially tomorrow.
Yeah, the under-23 team, sweep team, rowing team for Great Britain is looking really strong, actually. We've seen that very fast visitors for racing set the record, was it today or yesterday? So, there's some really good talent in there, and this is some of that talent.
It'd be really interesting whether any of these guys will be able to make that step in the next year into this Olympiad team, or will these be the next one for the next generation? Because you'd always get maybe one that can somehow manoeuvre into that top team.
Jettison, get themselves up there, yeah. So it's really exciting, isn't it, to think what could happen within a year. Amazing for some athletes to make that jump so quickly. But yeah, like you say, it's probably a slightly more long-term view, isn't it, of Paris 2024, that sort of stuff, isn't it?
So you see the combination, the under-23 from Newcastle University and Cambridge University making their way towards the floating grandstand at the end of the stewards' enclosure. A convincing win there as they cross the line ahead of the crew from Frankfurter, Germany. They will progress on to tomorrow's race. Good win there.